My name is Jesse Engle, and I'm the Director of Prayer here at Every Home for Christ. And we have three unalterable convictions as a ministry. The first is that the Great Commission must be taken literally, that the Lord has sent us into the world to proclaim the good news about who He is and what He's done, and to make disciples of all nations. The second is that prayer alone will remove the obstacles that stand in the way of the fulfillment of the Great Commission. And third is that without unity, this task that is before us to reach the lost, to proclaim the gospel, to make disciples, is impossible without unity. And so, in the last 70 years, the Lord has used this ministry to proclaim the gospel all over the world. The numbers are really just staggering in terms of people who are hearing the gospel and responding to Jesus, really through the church being sent out. And for the first time in 70 years, we're actually launching a ministry right here in our own backyard. We've never done ministry here in the U.S. in the past 70 years. And the Lord has just burdened our hearts for America and for the lost here in America. And in that process, we got introduced to some amazing people, an amazing movement called the Firebase Movement. And you may or may not have heard of them before, but we just believe that God's hand is on the Firebase Movement to see the church walk in their calling to both engage in day and night prayer, crying out to the Lord for His kingdom to come and for His will to be done, making a resting place in different cities through what they call Love Your City weeks, where for literally a week, 24/7, there's prayer going on. But we not only love them because of that prayer aspect, but also because there's a sending out of believers into the harvest field. We believe that the harvest is ripe. And these Firebase Movement guys are just wild men and women for Jesus. And so they're establishing 24/7 prayer for breakthrough and for a resting place and worship. But then they're also sending out outreach teams 24/7 into the streets, into the bars and the clubs late at night, into the parks. And they're seeing people respond to Jesus. And so just in the process of us launching a ministry where we're believing God to touch America with the gospel, we came to know about these guys, and the Lord just knit our hearts with Steve and Russell and Adam and others in different cities. And we just believe that God is raising up day and night prayer and worship, and also day and night proclamation of the gospel, believers getting out of the four walls of the church and onto the streets to lay their hands on the sick, to proclaim Jesus, to love people and meet them right where they're at. And we've just been so impacted by the Firebase Movement, and our hearts have been joined together, and we're gonna run with them with this big dream in our heart of America turning back to God. And so we want to encourage you to plug in with these guys, to run with them, and to give yourself for praying for another great awakening in America, but also being the answer to that prayer and being sent out to be proclaimers of the gospel. When you hang out with these guys, it's contagious. The culture that they're building, even in meetings that we've had with them, one of them begins to just shout out, "I am a messenger of the gospel." And that's kind of the rallying cry of the Firebase Movement. And we just want to say we love how the Lord is using them, and we're excited to run with them and to see our nation encountered with the love of Jesus and with the gospel.